Welcome back to another edition of Health Hack, and I am continuing my discussion around minerals that your body needs. And today I'm talking about phosphorus. Now, phosphorus is very important for good bone health as well as for energy production. So you want strong bones and you want to have energy. So this is an important one to know about. And when we are deficient, it can cause problems like arthritis and fatigue, fragile bones, reproductive problems, as well as tooth decay, stunted growth, and muscular weaknesses. Now, on the flip side, if we have too much phosphorus in our body, we can end up with anemia. So it can push iron down and we can have an iron deficiency. Again, we can end up with arthritis. So the body wants to be in balance. And if we have too much or too little phosphorus, we can end up with arthritis. So anyone struggling with that, you might want to check your phosphorus levels because that could be a clue and perhaps a simple solution. Too much phosphorus can result in calcium and magnesium deficiencies as well as diarrhea and irritability, tremors, and a zinc deficiency. So again, we don't want too much, we don't want too little, we want the exact right amount. So with low phosphorus as well, we can end up with a weak digestive system. This can also be triggered by stress. We may have low protein intake if we have low phosphorus, and just overall we feel weakened. And that poor digestion obviously doesn't help because it's not breaking down our food properly. We're not getting the other nutrients that we also need, which is part of why we can end up with low calcium, low magnesium, low zinc, etc. So on the flip side of that, with high phosphorus, we can end up it can be caused by high stress, but it can trigger high stress. And then we have our muscle, our body, and our bone tissue breakdown, which we definitely don't want. It can be triggered by a high processed diet, lots of junk food, as well as by eating too much protein, although that's less frequent than simply eating too much processed food, because there's so much of that readily available in our diet these days. There are many sources of high phosphorus foods, so it's not hard to get phosphorus through our diet, and it's also really easy to test for. There's actually 2 labs that I run that can test it. We can test it with all of the other minerals at the same time, but also if you're doing a test on bacterial and candida overgrowth, mold, and fungus, looking at your vitamin levels, it shows up there as well because of that link to digestion. So really easy to test for. You want to be in balance. And if you have any concerns about any of the possible symptoms of excess or deficient phosphorus levels, reach out. I'm happy to have a conversation with you and chat about your next best steps. Just email me, melissa@yourguidedhealthjourney.com.